Okay, so we are live. Are you all able to see the screen? Okay. So in the last chapter, so today's class, first of all, is combined for all the languages. So we'll be taking our class today in English and Hindi both, so everybody could understand. Okay, so all the North Indians and South Indians and everybody all could understand. So that's why we are going to take our class in English and Hindi. So, story summary. So, last chapter we understood that how Ashwatthama tried to kill the sons of Pandavas, uh, uh, tried to kill the Pandavas, but how he was humiliated by Krishna and Arjuna. So, in the last chapter, we see that how Arjuna punished the son of Dronacharya, Ashwatthama. And in today's chapter, Lord Krishna is going to go back to his kingdom. So he uh, came to the Pandavas because of this Mahabharata war. And now it's time for him to depart. Okay, time for him to bid a farewell. So, in today's chapter, Queen Kunti is going to pray and Parikshit Maharaj is going to get saved. So, let's start. After chasing away the dishonored Ashwatthama, the Pandava family went to the holy Ganges river to offer water to the dead relatives. तो पिछले अध्याय में हमने जाना था कि किस तरह से अश्वत्थामा ने पांडवों के 5 पुत्रों का वध करा था और उसके बाद अर्जुन और कृष्ण ने द्रोणाचार्य के पुत्र अश्वत्थामा को पनिश किया था। तो आज के अध्याय में हम जानेंगे कि किस तरह से भगवान कुरुक्षेत्र महाभारत के युद्ध के बाद वे वापस जाते हैं अपने राज्य में, तो किस तरह से उनका फेयरवेल होता है। और कुंती महारानी की स्तुति होगी आज। कुंती महारानी प्रेयर्स करती हैं आज के अध्याय में कृष्ण को और परीक्षित महाराज की रक्षा होती है। So let's start. After chasing away the dishonored Ashwatthama, the Pandava family went to the holy Ganges river to offer to their dead relatives. They mourned deeply for their loss and then bathed there before sitting on the river bank. Oh, they were sad. Lord Krishna and the sages tried to pacify them. All of you are able to hear me? Is my voice clear? Please put a thumbs up. Okay, voice is clear, right? So now Mahabharata war is finished. Okay, Mahabharata war is completed and Pandavas win and the Kauravas don't win, they lose the war. So after the war is done, they all are mourning for their relatives and for their family. So whoever were dead and they were in the Ganges river and they cried, mourned deeply. Okay, they were feeling very bad for whatever family that were dead because of the war, of the Mahabharata war. So they were very sad, but Lord Krishna and the sages tried to pacify them. So Pandava family were mourning, they were crying because of their family loss, right? So many relatives and so many family members were dead in this war of Mahabharata war. So they were all sad and Krishna started to pacify them. That it's okay. Don't worry about it. So Krishna says that everything that comes in this material world, what happens? Janma mrityu chara vyadi. Okay, we take birth, we have diseases, and we go to into old age and we also die. So whoever comes into this material world, nobody is immortal, everybody has to die one or the other day. So everybody has to die. So now Lord Krishna is saying that soul never dies, but the body does. So we all are immortal, but the body is not. So what does the soul does? Dehinosminyatade, from one body to another body, right? It changes, okay? It goes from one body to another body. When we say, right, he passed away. Who passed away? The family. Who passed away? The soul. Yes, the soul passed away because the body is there, right? So the soul passed away. That's why we say that he passed away. So the soul is never dead. What does the soul does? From one body to another body. Vasamsi jirnani. As we change clothes, what do? We wear clothes, and when they get dirty, we change them. In a similar way, a soul comes into one body, and when the body is of no use, it goes from one body to another body according to its karma. तो यहाँ पर पांडव के जो सदस्य है, जो पांडव हैं, वो कहा जाते हैं, वे गंगा रिवर के पास जाते हैं और वे यहाँ पर शोक कर रहे हैं, वह यहाँ पर दुखी हैं कि जो भी इस महाभारत के युद्ध में जिनका भी वध किया गया, जो भी उनके परिवार वाले, मित्र, संबंधी, जो भी थे, उनका जो निधन हुआ गया था, उनके लिए वे सब बहुत दुखी थे. तो कृष्ण क्या करते हैं? कृष्ण उन सबको शांत करने का प्रयास करते हैं. कृष्ण क्या कहते हैं? प्लीज डोंट डिस्पेयर, कि हम सब क्या है? हम सब तो आत्मा है, और जो भी इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में आता है उसकी डेथ तो निश्चित है, शायद वो आज होगी या कल होगी. सो प्लीज डोंट डिस्पेयर, said Lord Krishna. And the sages to the Pandava family, this is the material world. The cousins were very immoral, so their lives in this body ended earlier. But everyone is born and dies in the world. Nobody lives here forever. You can only live happily forever in the spiritual world if you always engage in the loving devotional service. So they all got up and went back home. So what is Lord Krishna saying here? That whoever comes into this material world, they all have to die, right? We are here, but we all have to die one day. Your cousins were very immoral. They didn't know how to act. So their bodies ended earlier. But everyone is born and dies in this world. Nobody lives here forever, right? So you can only live happily forever in the spiritual world if you always engage in the loving devotional service. So how can we always live happily? We all want happiness, right? Is there anybody who doesn't want happiness? Anybody here? Nobody, right? We all want happiness, but we are searching for happiness in this material world. There's no such thing as happiness in this material world. You can just do an activity at your home, take a bottle or take some object and close all, take some flashlight and make a shadow of it and try to grab the shadow. Can you grab the shadow? What do you think? Can you grab the shadow of the object? Renit? No. Yes. We could not grab the shadow. So that's what we are trying to do, right? We are in this material world, and in this material world, the happiness is the shadow. There's no such thing as happiness. You're trying to grab the shadow. Is it possible? No, it's not possible. If you want to drink water, would it drink water from the shadow or from the water bottle? From the water bottle, right? Could you drink water from the shadow? No, right? In a similar way, this material world is the shadow, right? There is no happiness in this material world. We are trying to grab the shadow, which is we can't pacify ourselves from the shadow. So there is no such thing as happiness in this material world. It is very temporary. So if you want real happiness, we need to go back to the spiritual world, to Krishna, back home, back to Godhead. And how can we do that? By doing the devotional service, by loving devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by chanting the Hare Krishna Mantra. You see, every chapter we read, everything we learn, one thing is really confirmed. What is it? Devotional service. Whatever you learn in the 18-day course and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the main thing, the summary is only one thing. What is that? Devotional service, the Hare Krishna Mantra. Hear about Krishna and chant about the holy names of Krishna and remember him. In this way, you can go back to home, back to Godhead, you can go back to Krishna and there you'll get real happiness. तो कृष्ण यहाँ पर क्या कहते हैं कि जो भी इस भौतिक जगत में आता है उसका जन्म और मरण, जो भी इसमें आता है वो यहाँ पर जन्म लेता है और उसका जो मरण है वो यहाँ पर मरता भी है। कोई भी यहाँ पर हमेशा के लिए नहीं रहता, ये सब क्या है, टेम्पररी है। अगर हम सबको हैप्पीनेस चाहिए, खुशी चाहिए, अगर हमें सदा खुशी रहना है तो उसके लिए हमें कहाँ जाना पड़ेगा, भगवान के पास, गोलोक वृंदावन, आध्यात्मिक जगत में जाना पड़ेगा। और हम आध्यात्मिक जगत में किस तरह से जा सकते हैं, जब हम भगवान की भक्ति करते हैं, इस प्रकार से हम अपने आध्यात्मिक जगत में जा सकते हैं। तो हम यहाँ पर क्या करते हैं, खुशी पाने का प्रयास करते हैं। आप सभी कर सकते हैं कि एक कोई बॉटल लीजिए और उसका शैडो बनाइए, राइट, मेक अ शैडो ऑफ इट बाय पुटिंग सम लाइट्स इन इट। सो व्हेन यू टेक द शैडो, क्या आप जब आप उसको शैडो को बनाते हैं तो उस पानी की बोतल में से क्या आप वो शैडो से अपनी प्यास को बुझा सकते हैं? नहीं, उसके लिए आपको बोतल लेकर उससे पानी पीना पड़ेगा। उसी प्रकार से मटेरियल वर्ल्ड क्या है, शैडो है। यहाँ पर इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में रहकर हम सदा खुशी नहीं रह सकते, वी कांट बी हैप्पी। तो अगर हमें रियल हैप्पीनेस चाहिए तो उसके लिए हमें कहाँ जाना पड़ेगा, आध्यात्मिक जगत में जाना पड़ेगा, स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में जाना पड़ेगा। वहां पर हम किस तरह से जा सकते हैं, बैक होम, बैक टू गॉडेड, भगवान को किस तरह से प्राप्त कर सकते हैं, भक्ति के द्वारा, भगवान की डिवोशनल सर्विस करके, उनके बारे में सुन के, उनके नाम का जप करके और भगवान को याद करके। इस तरह से हम भगवान के पास वापस जा सकते हैं और हमें क्या मिलती है, रियल हैप्पीनेस मिलती है। The terrible war was over. The Pandavas now had their kingdom back. Thanks to Lord Shri Krishna and King Yudhishthira was famous throughout the entire world for being so virtuous after performing 3 Ashwamedha horse sacrifices. So the Mahabharata war is over now and the Pandava won and they had their kingdom back. So thanks to Lord Krishna. So Krishna was the charioteer, right? They were always there to guide us. So one thing we learned from here, Kaurava had their army which was never defeated, but Pandavas had nothing but had Lord Krishna. So if we have Krishna on our side, so we can never lose. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhute Dhvani Tirmatirmama. If you want to be we always want to have victory, or we always want to have happiness, or we always want to be ahead of other people, or in any way, if you want victory or wisdom, so if we keep Krishna with ourselves, everything is possible. Okay, so in a similar way, as Lord Krishna was on the side of Pandavas, so they won. So if you put Krishna on our side, we can win every game of our life. So यहाँ पर ये जो महाभारत का युद्ध था वो यहाँ पर खत्म होता था और पांडव जीत के उनको अपना राज्य वापस मिल गया। ये सब किसके वजह से हुआ, किसके कारण हुआ, भगवान के कारण, राइट, कृष्ण के कारण हुआ। कृष्ण कौन है, कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वयं। तो अगर हमें भी विक्ट्री चाहिए, अगर हम भगवान को अपने पास रखते हैं, अगर हम भगवान हमारे साइड पर होते हैं, तो क्या होती है, विजय निश्चित ही होती है। जिस प्रकार से कौरवों के पास इतनी बड़ी सेना थी, वो सेना कैसी थी, वे कभी भी हारी नहीं जा सकती थी, इट वाज नॉन डिफीटेड, कभी भी हारी नहीं थी एक्चुअली सेना। लेकिन पांडवों के पास कुछ नहीं था, उनके पास क्या था, कृष्ण थे। तो उसी प्रकार से अगर कृष्ण हमारे साथ होते हैं तो क्या होता है, हम सदा विजयी होते हैं। सो Lord Krishna was now ready to go back to his own city, Dwaraka. The Brahmanas led by Vyasadeva worshipped him as they bid him farewell. Then Krishna sat on his chariot, ready to leave. Now Lord Krishna, it is time for Lord Krishna to go back to his own city, to his own kingdom of Dwaraka. So now it's time to say goodbye to Krishna. Okay. So now then Krishna sat on his chariot, he was ready to leave. Everyone was worshipping him, led by Vyasadeva, and everybody bid him a farewell, a goodbye. Then, तो यहाँ पर भगवान क्या चाह रहे हैं, जब ये युद्ध खत्म हुआ तो भगवान अपने राज्य द्वारका में वापस जाने वाले हैं। तो सबने उनको गुड बाय बोला, उनको सम्मान देकर वे उनको वापस भेज रहे हैं. All of a sudden, he saw Uttara hurrying towards him. She looked so scared. Krishna, Krishna, she cried. Oh Lord of the universe, you're all powerful. Please protect me. There's a fiery iron arrow chasing me. If you wanted to burn me, I don't mind. But please save my baby in my womb. Please do me this favor, my lord. So now, what is Ashwatthama doing here? Ashwatthama has not yet given up to chase the family of Pandavas. He's still trying to kill the family of Pandavas. So now Uttara had a baby in her womb, and now that Brahmastra, that fiery iron arrow, was chasing Uttara. So now Uttara helplessly goes to Krishna and says, "Oh Krishna, please help me. I'm helpless. I know you can do everything. Please help me. If you want this arrow to burn me, I don't mind. But please save my child." Lord Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotees, patiently heard Uttama's humble request. तो यहाँ पर उत्तरा क्या करती है? यहाँ पर अश्वत्थामा उत्तरा के पीछे एक ब्रह्मास्त्र को छोड़ते हैं. तो अश्वत्थामा अभी भी रुकते नहीं हैं. वो अभी भी प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि किस तरह से पांडवों को के वंश को मारा जाए. तो उसी तरह से उत्तरा के गर्भ में परीक्षित महाराज होते हैं, उनके पुत्र होते हैं. तो जब वे अस्त्र जो है उत्तरा के पीछे आ रहा था, तो वे कहा जाती हैं, कृष्ण के पास जाती है हेल्पलेस होकर, और कृष्ण को क्या कहती है कि कृष्णा, आप प्लीज मेरी मदद करिए. अगर आप चाहते हैं कि ये इफ यू वांट दिस टू बर्न मी, अगर आप चाहते हैं कि प्लीज मेरे गर्भ में जो पुत्र है उसको आप बचा लीजिए. प्लीज सेव माय बेबी. Lord Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotee, patiently heard Uttara's humble request. He thought, is that Ashwatthama who has released this fiery iron arrow? He's still trying to take revenge and kill the Pandavas' family. The 5 Pandavas saw the fiery arrows called Brahmastra coming towards them, and so they took up their weapons, tried to counteract it. When Lord Krishna saw that his beloved devotees were in danger, he at once took up his Sudarshana disc to protect them. The mystical Lord also went inside Uttara's womb and personally covered and protected the baby. So now, when the Brahmastra was chasing Uttara and his baby, so then Pandavas took up their weapons, so they were trying to counteract it. But whenever Lord Krishna sees that his devotees are in danger or they're not doing well, so what he did, he always protects them. He took out his Sudarshana disc and he himself goes into Uttara's womb and he protects that baby. They were all saved. Everyone was relieved and grateful to Lord Krishna, especially Queen Kunti. She offered him many prayers. तो अब यहाँ पर क्या होता है, जब ब्रह्मास्त्र उत्तरा के पीछे जा रहा था, तो जब भगवान देखते हैं कि किस तरह से उनके जो भक्त है वे डेंजर में है, वे खतरे में हैं, तो वो क्या करते हैं, वे खुद अपने आप को उत्तरा के वे गर्भ में चले जाते हैं और परीक्षित महाराज को सेव कर लेते हैं, परीक्षित महाराज की रक्षा करते हैं. प्रेयर्स बाय क्वीन कुंती. और यहाँ पर कुंती महारानी भगवान को प्रेयर्स ऑफर करती है. So now Queen Kunti is going to offer some prayers to the Lord. Prayers by Queen Kunti. As Mother Queen Kunti watched Krishna's wondrous act, she worried now he would never ever come back. Indeed, his splendid chariot stood ready to depart. So approaching her beloved Krishna, Kunti spoke her heart. So this is a small poem. I sent this in the group. Okay, some poems are there and some activities are there. You all can learn it. So now Queen Kunti is offering her prayers to Lord Krishna. तो यहाँ पर Queen Kunti, रानी कुंती जो है भगवान को प्रार्थना करती है. My dear Lord Krishna, she said gently, please don't go. I know you're everywhere, but no one can see this because you're invisible. Even seeing you here, this material world is like a curtain. Therefore, some people foolishly can't even see that you're the supreme personality of Godhead. भगवान क्या है? सभी कारणों के मूल कारण है. Krishna, who is Krishna? He is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is everywhere. So there are some foolish people who can't even understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So this material world is like a curtain. She continued, "You came to this material world to teach the self-realized sages how to love you." Then with tear in her eyes, she looked at Krishna and asked, "How can I know you? I'm only a woman." So now, यहाँ पर कुंती महारानी क्या कहती है? आप इस भौतिक जगत में क्यों आते हैं? अपनी लीलाएं करने के लिए और हमें बताने के लिए कि किस तरह से हम आपकी सेवा कर सकते हैं, किस तरह से हम आपके प्रति प्रेम विकसित कर सकते हैं और हम आपके पास वापस किस तरह से आ सकते हैं. So now Kunti Maharani is saying that you come to this material world, you came to this material world to teach the self-realized sages that how to love you, how to know you. How can I go back to you? Then remembering Krishna as a sweet little cowherd boy, she began to smile and prayed, "All I can do is simply bow down to you as the son of Vasudeva, who brings happiness to his mother Devaki. O Govinda, you are the darling of Vrindavana, and you bring pleasure to the cows and to our senses." So Queen Kunti is sister of Vasudeva. Okay, so Krishna is her niece. Okay, so here she's remembering about his sweet little cowherd boy when Krishna was very small as a cowherd boy. She prayed that all I can do is simply to bow down to you. As the son of Vasudeva who brings happiness to his mother Devaki, O Govinda, you are the darling of Vrindavan and bring pleasure to the cows in our senses. तो यहाँ पर क्वीन कुंती, रानी कुंती क्या है? वसुदेव की बहन है, तो इसलिए कृष्ण क्या लग जाते हैं? उनके नीस, राइट? तो यहाँ पर वे प्रार्थना करती हैं कि आप क्या करते हैं? वृंदावन के वासी हैं और वहां पर आप सबको pleasure, you bring pleasure to the cows and to our senses. She continued, "You are our hero, Krishna." Who is our hero? Krishna is our hero. You rescued your mother, Devaki, from the dark, cold prison cell of the evil king Kamsa. And you saved my sons and me so many times, such as when my son Bhima was given a cake with poison in it, and when our house was set afire, and when ghastly men eating demons tried to eat us, and even when Kurus tried to disrobe Draupadi. Even throughout this terrible battle, you protected us now again from Ashwatthama's fiery arrow, Brahmastra. So now Queen Kunti is remembering all the things Krishna did to her, and she's saying that you rescued your mother, from the evil cell of evil King Kansa, right? So so Krishna protected his mother, Lord Devaki, and bring her out from the prison and protected her from Kamsa. She's remembering that how Krishna saved him when Bhima was poisoned by Kurus, right? And he was by adding poison into it. So in that way, Krishna saved him. And when Kurus tried to set the house with fire, and then also Krishna saved him. And when a demon tried to eat Bhima and all the Pandavas, even then Krishna tried to save them and saved them. And when they were trying to disrobe Draupadi, and even then Krishna saved them. And even now, when Ashwatthama, he saved Parikshit Maharaj, and Ashwatthama, when he was chasing Uttara and Parikshit Maharaj with his Brahmastra. तो यहाँ पर कुंती महारानी याद करती है कि किस तरह से कृष्ण ने उनकी रक्षा की है. याद करती है कि किस तरह से उन्होंने देवकी महारानी की रक्षा की जब वे जेल में थी. और वे याद करती है कि किस तरह से जब भीम को पॉइजन जो जहर दे दिया गया था, तब भी कृष्ण ने उनकी रक्षा की थी. और जब उनका जो घर है लक्षागृह, जब उन्हें सेट ऑन फायर, व्हेन इट वाज सेट ऑन फायर, जब उसे अग्नि में लगा दिया गया था, और जब उनको मारने का प्रयास किया गया था तब भी कृष्ण ने उनकी रक्षा की। जब एक राक्षस ने उन सबको खाने की कोशिश की थी, राइट? रिमेम्बर व्हेन भीमा एंड एवरीवन, व्हेन ही मैरिड टू, ओके, एनीवे, सो तब भी कृष्ण ने उनकी रक्षा की। और जब द्रौपदी का चीरहरण करने का प्रयास किया गया था तब भी कृष्ण ने उनकी रक्षा की। और अब जब ब्रह्मास्त्र से उन्होंने परीक्षित महाराज की रक्षा की तब भी कृष्ण ने उनकी रक्षा की। तो वह यह सब याद करती है और भगवान की प्रार्थना करती है। She thoughtfully added, I wish all these dangers could come again and again to us, because then we can get to see you again and again, and then we will always be happy. But if we try to become happy in this material world, we won't be able to see you, because we won't be able to approach you with the same feeling. Some people think that your devotees are your favorite people, but that's just their imagination, because I know you love everyone equally and you give everyone your loving mercy equally too. They're probably confused because in your past lives, you act like a normal human being. Like when Mother Yashoda bound you with ropes when you were a little boy. It was amazing, Krishna, that you were crying and scared like a child, but actually, even fear is scared from you. How can this be? You're truly amazing, my Lord. So Queen Kunti is saying here that please give me these dangers again and again. So Krishna, you come to save us. And in that way, we can always see you and we can be happy. So some people say that Krishna is always merciful to his devotees, but not only his devotees, he's equally merciful to everybody and he gives his love to everybody equally. And when he came to this material world, he acted like a normal human being. And she's remembering the past time when Mother Yashoda tried to bound Lord Krishna with the ropes, right? He was crying. But Kunti Maharani says here that even fear is feared of you, Lord, dear Lord. So you are truly amazing. So now she's offering the prayers and glorifying Lord Krishna. तो यहाँ पर कुंती Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Are you all able to hear me now? Sorry, due to some internet problem, it got disconnected maybe. Hare Krishna. Manyata and Karmanya, can you hear me? Hare Krishna. आराध्य शुक्ला, हरे कृष्णा। प्लीज अनम्यूट करिए अपने आप को एक बार। आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं?
यस माता जी, यू आर ऑडिबल।
हाँ जी, हमने कब तक किया आप बताएंगे?
माता जी जब आप हिंदी में बताने जा रही तब आपकी वॉइस डिस्कनेक्ट हो गई थी।
विच पैराग्राफ? वो कुंती महारानी वाला?
यस माता जी।
ओके। तो कुंती महारानी क्या करती है? भगवान को प्रार्थना करती है और क्या कहती है कि हमारे जीवन में बार बार समस्याएं आए ताकि आप हमें हमारी रक्षा करने के लिए आए और इस तरह से हम सदा आपको याद करते रहे। ये क्या होना चाहिए? हमारा मूड होना चाहिए। इसी तरह से हमें भगवान को प्रार्थनाएं करनी चाहिए। तो वह उन लीला को याद करती है जब माता यशोदा, तो कृष्ण क्या करते हैं? जब इस धरती पर आते हैं तो अपने भक्तों को आनंद देने के लिए वे सामान्य पुरुष की तरह लीला करते हैं, सामान्य व्यक्ति की तरह लीला करते हैं अपने भक्तों को आनंद देने के लिए और अपनी लीलाएं करने के लिए। तो यहाँ पर वे उस लीला को याद करती है जब माता यशोदा ने कृष्ण को रस्सियों से बांधने का प्रयास किया था। तो कृष्ण क्या कर रहे थे? रो रहे थे, क्रंदन कर रहे थे और बहुत ही डर गए थे, राइट? तो इसलिए वे उनकी इन लीला को याद करके भगवान को ग्लोरीफाई करती है। मदर कुंती could not stop glorifying her dear Krishna. Anyone who continuously hears about you, talks about you, tells other about you, and even feels happy seeing others do this will definitely be able to see your lotus feet and will never have to take birth or die again. Oh Krishna, are you really leaving us? Even though you know we need you and are completely dependent on your mercy. So everybody who talks, screen is not visible, right? It's visible. Screen is visible. Screen दिख रहा है. Okay, thank you. तो यहाँ पर माता कुंती क्या कहती है कि जो भी आपके बारे में सुनता है, आपकी लीलाओं की चर्चा करता है, दूसरों को आपके बारे में बताता है, उसे वापस से जन्म मृत्यु के चक्र में नहीं आना पड़ता। तो अगर हम वापस से जन्म मृत्यु के चक्र में नहीं आना चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? भगवान की भक्ति करनी पड़ेगी, भगवान के बारे में सुनना पड़ेगा, दूसरों को भगवान के बारे में बताना पड़ेगा। इस तरह से क्या होता है? इस तरह से हम वापिस से इस जन्म मृत्यु के चक्र में फिर से नहीं आते और भगवान को प्राप्त करते हैं। You're really living, even though we need your mercy and we are completely dependent on your mercy. There's no one else to protect us. Everything we have is because of you. When you leave, everything good we'll have will go. Our kingdom appears beautiful as it is being marked by the impressions of your lotus feet. But if you leave, it will no longer be so. Please cut my attachment to this material world and let me just be attracted to you and nothing else. Just like the Ganges rivers flows to the sea without anything stopping her. So what is Kunti Maharani saying here? That we are dependent on you. If you go, then everything would be vain. Nothing would look so beautiful. So our kingdom is so beautiful just because of your lotus feet, just because of you are here. But if you go, everything good will go. Please, Krishna, do not go. Please stop my attachment from this material world, just as the Ganges flow to the sea without stopping. ओके तो यहाँ पर कुंती महारानी क्या कहते हैं कि हम आप पे पूरी तरह से क्या है? डिपेंडेंट है। आप पे पूरी तरह से हम डिपेंडेंट है और अगर आप चले जाएंगे तो जो भी हमारे पास है वो सब चला जाएगा। हमारा ये जो राज्य है इसलिए ये सुंदर लगता है क्योंकि आप इधर है, लेकिन अगर आप चले जाएंगे तो ऐसा फिर आगे नहीं होगा। प्लीज मेरी जितनी भी आसक्ति इस भौतिक जगत से है उसको हटा दीजिए। जिस प्रकार से गंगा समुद्र में बिना रुके मिल जाती है। After hearing Mother Kunti loving praise, Lord Krishna simply smiled at her. Oh children, this smile was so enhancing and magical. He then entered the place to bid farewell to other ladies. Then, as he was about to leave, he was stopped again, but by this time by Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yudhishthir Maharaj was still very upset because so many of his friends and relatives had to die in the battle. Oh Krishna, I'm so sinful, he cried. My body is meant to serve others, but I use it to kill so many people. There's nothing I can do to make everything better. You can't clean muddy water with mud or wine-stained pot with wine. Therefore, I can't undo the killing of men by sacrificing horses. Poor Yudhishthir Maharaj felt very disturbed. So now, after Queen Kunti finished her prayers, then Yudhishthir Maharaj stopped Krishna and said that Krishna, I'm very sad that so many relatives and so many of my friends have been killed. I did it all for my pleasure. Now, how can I make everything better? I can't do anything, right? I can't undo the killing of men by sacrificing horses. What should I do, Krishna? My body is meant to serve others, but I used it to kill so many people. So now Yudhishthira Maharaj is crying and very upset and praying to Krishna. So now what's happened next is we are going to learn into the next chapter. तो यहाँ पर जब कुंती महारानी अपनी प्रार्थनाओं को खत्म करती हैं, उसके बाद युधिष्ठिर महाराज कृष्ण को रोक देते हैं और वे बहुत दुखी है और वे क्या कहते हैं कि मेरा ये जो शरीर है ये दूसरों की सेवा करने के लिए है, लेकिन मैंने इस शरीर का जो इस्तेमाल किया है वे लोगों का वध करने के लिए किया है. तो कृष्णा, मुझे नहीं समझ आ रहा कि मैं अब क्या करूं. वो क्या है, बहुत दुखी है. तो जो भी मैंने किया है क्या है, बहुत ही सिंफुल है. मैं इसको किस तरह से ठीक करूं? ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है कि मैं किसी चीज को वापस से सुधार सकूं. ओके, तो नाउ अब इसके बाद क्या होता है ये हम अगले अध्याय में जानेंगे. अब हम क्वेश्चन आंसर करेंगे. we'll do the question answers now. I'll unmute all of you. I'll not unmute every one of you. Whoever knows the answer can just don't unmute yourself. When I ask you to unmute you can unmute and answer the question. From which river did the Pandavas offer water to their dead relatives? River Yamuna, River Ganga और C River Saraswati. तो अभी नहीं कोई आंसर करेगा, जब हम आपको बोलेंगे तभी आप अनम्यूट करके आंसर कर सकते हैं. तो पांडवों ने किस रिवर से, किस नदी से अर्पण किया वो पानी अपने जो रिलेटिव्स हैं, रिश्तेदार जो मर चुके थे? यमुना से, गंगा से या सरस्वती से? अनम्यूट करके आप बता सकते हैं जो भी बताना चाहते हैं.
रिवर
गंगा. Very good. Now you all can unmute yourself. B is the right answer. River Ganga. What did the Pandavas do after reaching the bank of river? Went for a bath, went for a swim, or went boating?
Went for a swim. Went for a bath.
Went for a bath. Yes, very good.
Went for a bath.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Unmute yourself. Who tried to pacify the Pandavas? Dhritarashtra, Sukadeva,
Lord Krishna sages.
Lord Krishna and the sages. Very good. Now mute yourself. Very good. Now mute yourself. The cousins of the Pandavas are moral, immoral. Very good. Everybody born in this material world dies. True, false, or sometimes wrong? Very good. Don't shout. Okay, don't shout, please. Just one time say true, I'll understand. Very good, true. Who was very famous throughout the world after performing 3 horses sacrifice? Ashwatthama, Arjuna, King Yudhishthira. King Yudhishthira. Very good. Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna was ready to go to his own city, Vrindavan, Dwaraka, No, Dwaraka. Yes, Vrindavan was his childhood, but after that, when he was in adulthood, he went to Dwaraka. Okay, so Dwaraka is the right answer. Who worshipped Lord Krishna when he was leaving to Dwaraka? Srila Vyasadeva, Shukadeva Goswami, or Suta Goswami?
Srila Vyasdeva.
Vyasadeva is the right answer. No, Vyasadeva is the right answer. Who was running towards Lord Krishna when sorry, he was preparing to leave? Queen Kunti, Draupadi, or
Queen Kunti.
no? No, yes, Uttara is the right answer. So yes, Queen Kunti also approached Krishna, but Uttara was in danger, right? When the Brahmastra was following her. So Uttara is the right answer. Who fired the iron arrow to kill the baby in the womb of Uttara? Ashwatthama is the right answer. What was the fiery iron arrow called? Narayana, Brahmastra, Pushpastra. Brahmastra is the right answer. What did the Pandavas do when they saw they were all in danger? They ran away, fired the Brahmastra to Ashwatthama. B is the right answer. Pick up their weapons to counteract it. What did Lord Krishna do when he saw the Pandavas were in danger? Took his Sudarshana disc to protect him, took his club to protect him, took a sword to protect him. A is the right answer. Took his Sudarshana disc to protect him. How did Lord Krishna protect the babies in the Uttara womb? He fired a Brahmastra at Ashwatthama. Wait. B is the right answer. Govinda means one who brings happiness to the cows, rivers, and fishes. Cows. Very good. Krishna saved his mother Devaki from the Brahmastra, the dark old prison cell of Kamsa, the dark old prison cell of the Kauravas. Very good. B is the right answer. Thank you. Very nice, Hare Krishna. Who saved the Pandavas many times from different dangers? Lord Krishna, Shiva, or Vishnu?
Lord Krishna.
Very nice, Hare Krishna. Why did Queen Kunti want the dangers to come to her again and again? So that
she could see Krishna again and again.
Very nice. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Very enthusiastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Now I'll give you the attendance link. Please mark your attendance.